Greetings, salutations, hello, welcome back. I'm glad that YouTube is still checking out my stuff. And by still, I mean not quite rolling the way that I want to roll yet, but we're getting there. We got a few people doing some stuff. I am Shunrin, aka the friggin' Iron Man, and I am here to give another build spotlight. As people should know if they've been checking out my previous videos, I like to do entire full builds to show, full setups for entirely automated systems, things that you can put together. Not just the build itself, not just regular tutorials on how to build this or how to make that, but full entire builds and everything surrounding it to make an automated system. I like fully self-managed, self-contained, full automation. That's what I like to show. Today I was going to bring everybody a new video. What I promised at the end of the last video was a frame quarry, Red Power frame quarry, and I'm still going to do that. We're still going to get to that. I think it's probably going to be next video now. I know I said that last video, but I wanted to check in on today on the boiler situation again. I know I've been doing nothing but boilers so far, but I've actually gotten a few questions about them, and also Minecraft 1.5.2 has been rolling pretty heavily, and so I wanted to check into that. I have been running on 1.4.7 in my previous videos up until now, because I've been waiting on a couple of different mods to update. There's specifically two mods I'm waiting on to update to actually go full-blown into 1.5.2. But most of my friends are running on 1.5.2 on a server, and we've been playing on that pretty heavily, and things are looking good so far. It's just missing those two mods. So I wanted to check out the situation, the scene, and the boilers work a little bit differently. Well, the boilers themselves don't work differently. Mostly it's just the setup for the whole build is going to work a little differently. Most notably, the thing that's different is the saplings from the tree farm and I made it set up in the previous video. Those saplings, the amount of biofuel you get for the liquid boilers has been nerfed. They used to give a lot of biofuel or biomass. They used to give a lot of biomass. They don't give so much anymore. That got nerfed pretty hard, and so now you need to come up with an alternative source for biomass or just have a lot of it. A lot of saplings laying around, something. There's a couple of different ways to do it, but I just wanted to show you guys a few things. First off, the very last video when I did the liquid boiler, I indicated that you could do sustainable fuel, not biofuel, but just regular fuel from oil, through an extra bee called an oily bee, and if you had enough of them, you could set up a sustainable oil system so that you could refine it into fuel for the liquid boiler. And I set up, I think, 10 apiaries or 8 apiaries. And I said, you need more than this, but here's how you do it. And some people went, well, how many would you need? And I went, I don't know. I haven't actually done it. So today I've done it. And I'm here to show you exactly what you would need. And yeah, it's kind of insane. Here's what you would need. It's nuts, but this works. I also set up a side-by-side for the biofuel over here, and I'll show you this in a second here. But basically, this is what you end up needing, and this is actually sustainable and works. So you get your liquid boiler, and this is set up exactly the same way as I set up in my previous video, except for I don't have all the mods I normally use, so this is a different kind of red power cabling. But it's the steam coming out and feeding the steam engines, just like before. So all this is the exact same coming out of the liquid boiler here. We got our water coming in from underneath of it. We got our fuel coming in. It's being burnt. We're about at 195 degrees Celsius. I didn't build all this on camera specifically. I know I like to do that. I know I like to go and build everything on camera so everybody can see how things are made. But the sheer amount of work it took to get this done, it took me literally 3 hours to put all this together. And I didn't think people wanted to be watching me build stuff, so I'm just going to walk you through it. I'll show you how to do it, but I wanted to get everything done, because look at this. Every one of these is 4 apiaries surrounded by an item tesseract. And each apiary has an oily bee and the oily drones inside of it, right? So this is one of these, has 4 of these, and this is 5 by, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 5 by 8 of 4 apiaries, each one breeding in bees. Why is that popping out over here? What just happened there? What's leaking? Are one of these not set up right? Guys? Whoa. Oh! Send only. Okay. Derp. Must have derped when I clicked that guy. 3 hours of clicking. The amount of clicks it took to get this whole thing set up, guys, was over 9,000. Horrible, terrible meme to drop, but I like to drop it, especially when it's insane, and this was literally insane. It took so long to get this all together. You don't have to use the item tesseracts. I'm just doing it to make things easy for demonstration purposes. But this is, like I said, it's a 5x8 of these, 4 apiaries each. There is 320 apiaries sitting here. 320 apiaries. Hang on, let me say that again. There are 320 apiaries sitting here. It's nuts. It's literally 5 stacks of apiaries. That means you need 5 stacks worth of princesses and 5 stacks worth of drones. And then you set these up and they breed and they make oily combs. And it's just enough to run this boiler. Like if you come over here, all these tesseracts, you don't have to use tesseracts. You could use iron piping and move them all via pipes to over here. I'm just, again, using the tesseracts for demonstration purposes only. And they're all teleporting. All those tesseracts are teleporting to this one receiving tesseract right here. Okay? He's coming in. You can see he's set to the same frequency. He's receive only. And anytime he gets everything, I'm voiding stuff I don't need. So right now, oily combs are coming in, and they're dropping into right here on the blue line, which is right, as you can see, set up right there. And then this apiary is just here because I don't want anything going back down the line again, which would pop it out, which isn't going to happen, but, you know, I'm kind of thorough that way. Everything else is going down the yellow path and getting voided. And it's the same deal here. Once the oily comb centrifuges, it drops out honey and has a 60% chance to drop out an oily propolis. So this is grabbing the oily propolis and sending them to blue. Everything else is getting voided. And this is pulling out any excess items and getting voided, like from right here. So the propolis is getting trashed. So you can see it coming out right there. And the reason I'm voiding those is because I don't need them for this video. If this was a real world, real gameplay, I would be throwing them. I would be using them and storing them. But as you can see, look, this is running pretty consistently. We got a good amount of oil stored up in this guy. And as I said, this is now it's a little over 200 degrees. This game world has been running. I finished setting this up probably about 30 to 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour tops, and it's just now getting this thing full. So you'd probably want to have a couple tanks around here for excess liquid, but it's just barely keeping this up. This one refinery is just barely keeping this thing going. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's drop a second refinery. Do I have one in my inventory? Of course I don't. I've only been working on this all day. You'd think I'd be a little better prepared. So I'm going to drop this right here. And we're going to flip him around, I think. And let's drop another liquiduct. We could double up on this, I think, pretty easily. Connect that up. Get my lever. There we go. We'll grab a conduit here. There we go. Now we got 2 of them running, so we got fuel coming out a little bit quicker, but it's not going to be necessary because I think we just happened to get a bunch of them because I had to drop those extra propolis in there you saw it a second ago from that pipe that was spitting out, so they had an excess in the system. But that normally wouldn't happen, okay? One of each, one refinery and one squeezer and one centrifuge was doing just fine, and it was keeping this thing going. It's slowly building up heat, and once it reaches maximum heat, it won't be using, like, the efficiency boosts up like crazy. It doesn't use anywhere near as amount of fuel. It's like less than half of what it was. So all those won't be as necessary. But look, that's how much it took to get this thing going and started. That's nuts. As a flip side comparison, this is the biofuel setup I've got going on over here, and this is our fermenter, and this is our still. And instead of using a still, I'm actually using a refinery because it's faster. Uses a little more power, but it actually processes faster. Works out mathematically to about the same efficiency, though, so I just wanted to get them in there quicker so we didn't have to have 20 stills sitting out here. And there you can see it going right there. But the way that this is set up, I set this up similar to be my last video. Again, this is 1.5.2, so I had to make a new world, and I went with a flat creative test world to show things. So I set up another applied energistics system, because that's what I did in the previous video. And you can see here that what I got going is this is fields being maintained by these golems. I love golems. They're so amazing. And they're just dropping out. There's 2 golems on each section of field here. Guy picks up, guy that plants. Underneath is applied energistics cabling with a import bus. So it's importing stuff from the system. I can't manage to click on it from right here for some reason. So there's cabling running underneath, picking stuff out of these chests. This is a 9x9 field. This is a 3x3 grid of 2x2 farms, because each column, the amount of distance they can see is about the distance of a field. So I put them right in the center like this. So this guy's right here in the center. These 2 guys, they manage these 4 fields right here. Okay. And then over here, these 2 guys manage these 4 fields. And I've got a 3x3 setup of those 2x2 grids. So this is actually a 6x6 wheat field of 9x9 fields. Okay, that's how much wheat is being produced, and it's all got those cables pulling out of the chests directly into the system. Inside the crafting system, I've got one thing showing that plant balls are made out of 8 wheat, and that 4 compost are made out of 1 dirt and 1 wheat. And then back here behind, I've got interface saying that you can make 1 dirt out of macerating a plant ball, or pulverizing a plant ball, which is being done right here. So we're getting dirt and wheat, and that's probably hurting us. To be completely honest with you, this is probably hurting us because the compost, we got plenty of compost in here just fine, but we're just not getting the plant balls we need because we're not getting wheat in quick enough. Look, the wheat comes in, it's gone almost instantly. Got 1,024 seeds so far, but only so much wheat. And the wheat's just gone as soon as it comes in. Come on, wheat. But anyway, this thing's moving plant balls. Should be moving plant balls in here. Yeah, plant balls, single item. This is an export bus. Move single items and crafts. So it should be keeping this stocked with plant balls, but it's just not doing it because this is not enough wheat. This gigantic field is not enough wheat. Now, the reason I'm not using tree farms as I mentioned before, first off, trees get you actually less than the plant balls now. So if we come in here, whoops. If we come in here to NEI and we look up biomass, and we hit the recipe button to take a look, we can see that a regular tree sapling only gives us about a quarter of a bucket now. It used to give us like 3 or 4 times that much. That's why we were doing it. But now it doesn't give us anywhere near as much. And so the reason I set up a plant ball system is because it gives us 0.3. So it actually gives us a little bit more than the tree saplings did. So plant balls are actually worth more now. You could just feed straight wheat into it, but wheat doesn't give you hardly anything. It's like 0.05 of a bucket. Yeah, look at that. 0.075. So you could feed the wheat straight into it, but it's just not going to build up as quick. That's why I was doing the plant balls, because we had the applied energistics system in the previous video anyway. But I just wanted to demonstrate this amount of wheat field is not enough to keep up with even 1 fermenter. And tree saplings would be even worse. Now, you could say, well, why not just make a gigantic tree farm track? I mean, trees, you get a lot more, wood and saplings out of 1 tree than you do out of waiting for 1 seed to grow. And that's true, you could do that. But here's the other thing. The tree cart that we made, the Steve's Farm tree cart, when it updated to 1.2.5, it got nerfed as well. So if you go in here to look up the tree cutter, to put the tree cart together, we're going to look up the wood cutting piece. Wood cuts, there we go. The wood cutting core, the basic wood cutting core now is what it's called, and it has a durability. Look at that, durability 100%. So that thing is made out of diamonds still. You have to make 5 diamonds to make one of these hardened wood cutters. So the durability is now a factor in this woodcutter. I set up a tiny little one that's about half the size of one of the tracks that I had in my previous video. It was maybe 32 or 36 tracks long, and I let it run for 8 straight hours. It gathered up probably no more than 24 stacks of wood. No more than 24 stacks of wood in that 8 hours. Took 30% durability. So by the math, if you have those giant tree farm carts that I was showing you guys that you would need to make, these are going to be breaking left and right. You're going to have to be recreating these all the time. It's just going to be a hassle, and it's not going to be an automated system. You could probably set up an automated way to repair the things, because you can use diamonds to repair them, and you get some of the durability back into them, so you don't have to lose them. But it's just a gigantic pain in the rear. Now there's another one. There's the hardened woodcutter, which is made out of the shiny ingots, the shiny metals, which is basically platinum, I guess, unofficially called. Or hardened saw blades, which are just made out of, the platinum, just like the other ones. And I think these take half as much durability, so they last twice as long, from what I understand. I could be wrong on that, though. I haven't actually confirmed that, but they last longer. And then there's the Galgadorian woodcutter. Oh, before I show you that, though, the refined metal is made out of, you smelt a piece of stabilized metal, which is made out of 5 iron, 2 of these hardened meshes, and 2 of these refined hardeners. The refined hardeners, I believe, are made out of mesh as well. A raw hardener. Excuse me. Oh, they have these in them. So the refined mesh has 4 of these same hardeners in them, which is made by smelting a raw hardener, which is made out of a diamond and 4 obsidian. So that's how you are going to be making this bigger guy. Now there is the Galgadorian one, which is an unbreakable tool. You can still make an unbreakable tree cart, but here's my problem with it, is it's made out of these Galgadorian metals. These Galgadorian metals are insanity. You smelt a lump of Galgador, which is made out of a diamond block, 2 of those stabilized metals we just looked at, 3 of these eyes of Galgador, and some glowstone. These eyes of Galgador are 4 magma cream apiece, 2 gas tears, 2 fermented spider eyes, and an eye of ender, which is a blaze powder and slime ball. This fermented spider eye is the spider eye, some sugar, and a mushroom. And you need 2, so basically you need 4 magma cream and 2 gas tears per eye of Galgador. You need 3 of those per metal. You need 5 of those metals. So you need 15 of those eyes, which is going to be 30. You're going to need 30 freaking gas tiers and a stack of freaking magma cream. If you're in the Nether, if you are in the Nether and you're hunting around and you have that kind of time and that kind of power and that kind of ability to run around the Nether, you're probably not worried about trees. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to throw that out there right now. You're probably not so worried about trees. You've probably got 100 other systems set up to get you power. So this is not really a viable build any longer, in my opinion. Now, somebody might be able to get out there and find out a better way to do it, but this just doesn't keep up. I've had this running for the same amount of time as the oil setup with the bees over there, and it just isn't getting anywhere. It burns us quicker than it comes in. The fuel, however, is still a viable option. We're actually got a little bit of an income now. This tank is finally starting to fill up. This is burning up. I would do this in a real-world play. As insane as this looks, and my server admin that runs the server I play on with my friends, he's going to watch this, and he's going to see how insane this is, because we've talked about it a little bit. I told him I was going to record this. If you're listening, I'm still going to do this, by the way. Just to let you know, this is what's going to happen. This is insanity right here. So let me show you guys a little bit more about this build. Since this build still works, let me show you how to do this. So to make this field setup, the reason I did the 4 around each of these tesseracts is because I wanted to put as many on one tesseract as I could to minimize the number of tesseracts needed. But again, you could just pipe all these. You don't have to use tesseracts. You could just iron pipe this all day long. Those are meteors, by the way. That's a mod that he's installed as well. Anyway, so you could just pipe these all day long and not use tesseracts at all. I just, again, used them for simplicity. But that's why they're shaped in the 4s like this. And if you're going to use these tesseracts, here's how you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to grab your apiary, which I don't have in my inventory for some reason. Apiary. So you're going to grab your apiary, and you're going to hit 4 in a square, like this. Okay? And then you're going to grab some piping. You're going to need a wooden, golden, sandstone, and an insert pipe. And then what you do is you get down underneath of these things, and you put your wooden pipe underneath of each one. Okay? And then you can use autarchic gates, or you can use redstone engines to pipe out. However you do it, you just want to connect those up down below to get everything out the bottom, because the apiaries pipe out from below. Okay? And then you're just going to say, items in inventory, energy pulsar on each one of them. See why this took me so long to build that giant setup over there? Energy pulsar. There we go. And then you're going to grab gold pipe, sandstone pipe, gold pipe on the outside of each one of these. And you do that because that way things don't connect to the side of the apiary when it comes up along, because the sandstone pipes will only connect to other pipes. That's why you do that. The insertion pipes tries to insert into the inventory that's connecting to first, and if it can't, it sends it on down the line to the next pipe. Now, one thing I did earlier, if you do use the Tesseracts, that's an energy one. If you do use the Tesseracts for this, just one quick note. You grab your item Tesseract, you want to place it up like I did over there. You see how with the insert pipe, it comes up one to this thing? At one point I placed it like that, figuring, oh, it'll just try to insert here first and then continue on. No, it doesn't do that. It tries to connect to the nearest inventory. Why did I just trash that? It tries to connect to the nearest inventories and then moves on to the piping. There's no piping here. So both these inventories are equal to this pipe. This insertion pipe will try to drop into connected inventories, so it considers the apiary as equal as the Tesseract. It will pick them randomly. So what was happening was I had them equal out like this, and half the time it would go down and half the time it would go to the Tesseract, and it would end up down the line here, and it would get voided in these void pipes. And then I was wondering why my bees were dying out. I'm like, I'm not getting bees. Why am I losing bees? What's going on? So it took me a while to realize what I had done. So don't do that, guys. If you set this up like this, you will be sour. You will be so sour because your bees will be dying left and right, and you will have no idea what's going on. So you have to set this up like this and put this Tesseract in the middle. Don't be sour boat bees. Just use an extra pipe. You don't have to do that either. If you wanted to, you could drop this in the center, and then you could use an iron pipe even. I don't have an iron pipe in my inventory. I don't know why. You'd think that would be a good thing to do. You could do this too. And this is a graphical bug with 1.5.2 is so new. The clear sides are the closed off part, and the solid side is the output, or the output side. That's a glitch. They got the texture backwards, I guess. But anyway, you want to wrench this so that it outports to the center. You could do this too. Instead of having them all stick up like that, if you want a little bit more flat, a little more streamlined, you could do this. Either way, I realized I could do this when I was about 90% complete with this setup. And then I was sour because I was like, wow, that would look way more streamlined. But no, I didn't realize it in time, and I wasn't about to redo the last 3 hours of work and undo that. So I just left them this way, but I wanted to show you guys you could do it this way too. And then you click in here and you set your thing to the frequency you're using. And then you get your flowers. I don't have any flowers on me. So I'll just drop some in the corners. And there, you're done. That's it right there. And then you do that times 1,000. You do this work over 9,000 and you get this. And that's what you end up needing over here. And again, if you don't want to use this Tesseract, you could just use the pipe. Like so. And you could grab this. And you could wrench that so that it outputs correctly. And you could just simply pipe this along to wherever you wanted this to go, which would end up over here to our line of work. Okay? And then the pipes, we got the gold pipe, we got the insertion pipe, which is just a regular cobblestone with the piece of redstone. And all the pipes are your chosen material around a piece of glass like so. And I know I've shown you guys this before, but I'm just recapping because I haven't done a video for 1.5.2 yet. The apiary is going to be your impregnated casing with 5 planks and 3 slabs. The slabs are made out of your planks along a row. And the impregnated casing is going to be made in a carpenter. You need seed oil, and you just make a ring of logs to get your impregnated casing. Okay? So you need a lot of those. If you're lucky, like I did in the last server that we set up, that I just mentioned that I was playing on with my friends, we actually found a villager. He's trading out apiaries for just oak wood. So just go gather a bunch of wood, and you get the apiaries you need to. So you get 320 apiaries, which is 5 stacks. It's 5 stacks. Stacks. Over 5 stacks. No, anyway. Okay, I'm done with that joke, I swear. So, yeah, that's pretty much what you got to do. But it's stable. It works, and it's a wonderful thing. I enjoy this actually. This is a little insane, but I like it anyway. Just get some tanks to use up your extra, or to store your excess fuel. You can use that for something else. But then you get your power going. This doesn't work. This works beautifully. It's a fantastic thing. And I have this little setup over here. You might have been wondering, watching my camera, zip past this a couple times. The reason why is because what happens is these insert pipes, the way they're set up, is as the bees breed, you stick your princess in here and you stick your drone in here and they breed. And then the autarkic gate or the redstone engine, whichever you're using to pipe things out of the bottom of it, comes up and over here, look through the pipe, and then it hits the insert pipe, which tries to drop it back in the inventory. So one princess can only fit in here at a time, but multiple drones can stack, right? You're only going to get one princess when they're done breeding, so it's going to drop right here, but the multiple drones will stack. Eventually, this is going to fill up with drones. You're going to have a stack of 64 drones in here, and then you're going to have excess drones, because it won't be able to put any more in there. It'll drop one princess and multiple drones. This will fill up. So when everything comes out here, it cannot drop the combs, the oily combs, and sometimes it produces primeval combs. It cannot drop the combs back in the apiary, so it automatically goes up the beeline. It automatically goes up and goes along through its processing route. So you don't need to worry about the combs. You don't need an apiary's pipe to do this. It's just combs. We'll just go straight up anyway. But the bees, eventually, they will stack and fill up as well, and they will come up and they will go through the line as well. So you don't want this to be leading straight into your centrifuge. You want to have something like this diamond pipe here to separate things as it comes down the line, because eventually bees are going to start popping out of this thing. And the reason why, what you'll do is you'll probably run a pipe along the ground to over here, and what you'll do is you'll put them, what you'll want to do with them is you'll want to use your excess bees in this gene pool right here. Wow, that just freaks me out every time it happens. I think I just crapped myself, guys. Man. Whew. Anyway. Ignore the textures not loading. It's a graphical bug from what I can tell, but you can still see the machine's texture and the GUI in here, so it's not a big deal. So you need these machines. These are really advanced genetic tier machines down the beeline. You don't have access to these for a long time, but the basics of it, and I'm not gonna, this isn't a bee tutorial. I'm just showing you what you need to know. This is a gene pool. I'll look it up for you really quick so you know how to make it. Gene. It's all one word. Gene pool. It's going to be made out of 4 tanks, piece of glass, 2 gold, a redstone, and a genetic machine, which is going to be made out of an APRS machine, 6 iron, a lapis lazuli, and a basic circuit board, which is made in a carpenter with 6 redstone and a tin. The APRS machine is just your basic sturdy casing, which is your 8 bronze, and then 6 copper and 2 redstone, okay? And so you're going to make your gene pool and extra bees that you have laying around. Like here's a stack. I've got a stack of oily bees right here I prepared in advance. One thing that I was prepared on, guys, and you drop him in here and he gets analyzed and he gets broken down and his bee genetics and DNA gets all isolated and spit out, and you get a little bit of liquid DNA which gets spit up here into these tanks. And I'm storing them in basic tanks just for demonstration purposes again. And it's better if you analyze the drones first or the queens first, so that the machine knows what it is. You get more DNA out of that. But for an automated system, you're not going to stop and analyze everything all the time. You might do that. You could do that because you are still getting honey drops out of this thing, as you see. I'm just voiding them. You could put those through a whole setup and get a tank of honey, so you get an automatic analyze machine going on. There is one of those. But that requires power. That requires some of the power you're generating, and for this purposes, you're just getting so many of these guys. There's really just not. It's just a lot of extra headache if you do it that way. I recommend just straight up dumping them unknown genome. Just dump them straight up unanalyzed in here, and it will break them down and spit out your bee DNA for you. The bee DNA is used in the synthesizer, the purifier, the ice, and for those 2 machines, anyways. And then what you do. Here's how to get the 300 odd bees. That's the whole reason I set this up, is to show you guys. To get over 300 bees. You thought I was going to drop that joke, didn't you? Take that. To get over 300 bees, to get 5 stacks of everything going, you're probably not going to want to hold 5 stacks of princesses and 5 stacks of drones and wait until you genetically manipulate them through crossbreeding naturally all the time. You're probably going to have hundreds and hundreds of forest drones and meadows drones and God knows what other drones laying around, and you're going to wonder what to do with all those and how to get up to what you need to get up to. So what you do is you take the isolator, and if you drop a serum vial Here we go. Here's an empty serum. And this guy is made out of 6 panes of glass, 2 gold ingots, and a royal jelly, which comes from, it's the byproduct production from the higher up bees once you've progressed. I think it's noble. Maybe not noble. It might be up to imperial. I know for a fact that the higher up bees give them. I'm not sure if noble does or not, but it's a byproduct from using them in the apiaries. Get you 2 of those. And what you do is you drop some of these guys in here, and you can drop a bee in here, and you power the machine, the redstone cell behind it, as you can see, and it will break down this bee into its pieces and figure out what it's made up of. And it can, sometimes you'll get 1, sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 serums out of him, but each, there's various properties to the bees, right? And this is going to show you, you'll get a serum vial here. Look, we got a slowest productive serum vial. Isn't that fantastic? So now we can inoculate a bee so that he produces as slow as possible. Let's run another one really quick. I almost broke into the Jeopardy theme music right there for you guys. Decided not to do that. Thought you might hate that. Rape your ears. Oh, here we go. Another slowest one. Oh, this is pollination flower, because they pollinate with flowers. Anyway, you analyze, you isolate a couple of these guys, you put a couple through this machine. Eventually you will get the serum for the oily bee race. And you'll be able to inoculate other bees and turn them into oily bees. There's efficiency cancellation. Oh well. I swear you'll get the oily bee one eventually. And then what you do is you take the oily bee serum. I'm not going to sit here and wait for the oily bee serum because it's, it'd be a pain in the rear. But unless you guys want me to be pains in your rears. Ha 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 ha. So let's just say you get your oily bee serum. What you do over here is you put this through the purifier, and it uses some of the bee DNA that you have saved up. Did it not go in the... Guys? What happened there? Oh. I clicked on the wrong machine. That's what happened there. Derping hard for all the days, forever and ever. Amen. You put this in here, and this purifier is going to make it better quality. So it runs through, it uses a little bit of the DNA, turns it from average quality. Eventually, it's going to turn this thing into good quality, like it just did. You get excellent quality, and so on and so forth. The reason you do that is because the synthesizer here, this replicates how many charges this thing has. Right now, it's an empty serum vial, and you can see that it's just building up in here. The DNA kind of rises up through. It starts as little building blocks, and eventually you get your strain up here at the top. It's kind of a cool graphic. I really like all the graphics of these machines. Looks really awesome. This is the synthesizer, and this will give you charges. So now it says 1 charge. See that? 1 charge. Fantastic. And the reason why we do that is because... Oh, there it is. Oily bee species serum. Fantastic. You get out of here. We don't want you anymore. Go away. Who cares? Oily bee species. So what you do is you're going to put this through the inoculator, or I'm sorry, the synthesizer, and get this a couple charges. And then what you do is, let's look those up really quick to show you how to make those. The synthesizer is made out of an advanced genetic machine, 4 soul sand, 2 tanks, a piece of glass, and a piece of redstone. The advanced genetic machine is made out of the old genetic machine I showed you a minute ago for the gene pool. You get another genetic machine, 6 gold, 1 diamond, and an enhanced circuit board, which is 3 bronze and 6 redstone in the carpenter. That's how to make the gene pool, or that's how to make the synthesizer. The purifier is going to be made out of 4 tanks, 3 gas tiers, a redstone, and that advanced genetic machine. The isolator, oh, it's full, so it's showing us it can't make any more. That's fine. You get all kinds of things, temperature tolerance, effect cancellation, yada, and so forth. Again, ignore the texture thing. The isolator is going to be made out of 3 emeralds, 4 blaze rods, 1 redstone, and that advanced genetic machine again. And the last machine you're going to need is the inoculator, if I could type. As everyone should know by now, I like to derp on my typing and all kinds of things. 5 magma cream, 2 of those empty serum vials, redstone, and that advanced genetic machine. So this is all really advanced tier stuff, but what you can do eventually is you get these serums going on. We got a couple charges. It's poor quality. You saw how to do the quality a second ago in this purifier, so I'm not going to bother with that again. But what you can do is you can take a drone or a princess or whatever you want to do. Let's say you, no, you know what? Let's grab a hive actually. Here's a forest hive. Let me grab a scoop. I'm actually going to drop this out. Let's say you're running around and you're like, oh, there's a forest hive. I'm going to grab those bees. So I'm actually going to drop out of creative mode. Whoa. That must have been some kind of glitch. Whoa. We are glitching all the days. Where am I? Oh my lord. I'm not sure why I died as soon as I dropped out of creative mode there, guys. That's kind of weird. Huh. I did not respawn. When I first created this world and I generated this world, I spawned and I only walked like 20 steps north and started building. So, it's obviously respawned me not in the spawn chunk. That's entertaining. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to go figure out where I was at, and I'll be back with you in just a few moments. Alright, guys. I'm back. Had to actually look up, stop the video, check my coordinates. I was at negative 74, the z-axis 786, as you can see in the top left of my window here. And a second ago, I was at 200, both positive. I was at thousands of meters away. I don't know what the deal was with that. A little bit strange. Let's continue off where we left a second ago. I'm actually going to land all the way down. All my stuff is still here. Fantastic. I was so worried about that in creative mode over here. Let's clean this up a little bit. So anyways, let me see if I can not die popping out of creative this time. Hey! So anyway, let's say that you're out in the world here, and you're looking around, and you decide that you find this beehive here, and you're like, fantastic, a beehive, just what I was looking for. I'm going to grab these bees here. So you use your scoop on the bees, you get your bees. Fantastic. Now we'll go back into creative mode. What you do then is you run back to your base. You don't trash your honeycomb like I just did, because you probably want to use it, but again, we're in creative mode for this demonstration. And the way that this inoculator works is you have forest bees, but you want your oily bees for your oily setup that we've been doing here. You're going to go up to your machine, you're going to say, okay, drop these princess and drone in here, and you drop your oily serum in here. It's poor quality. You want to probably have better quality. I'm not actually certain what the quality does at this point. To be completely honest with you, I'm not sure what that affects. But you put your forest bees in here, and you put your oily serum in here, and this inoculator will very slowly run. You can see it's very slowly plugging this away. And it's going to turn these bees into oily bees. So instead of having forest, you'll have oily. That's how you do it. And so instead of having to worry about having to, breed tons and tons, hundreds and hundreds of stacks of these bees, you can just inoculate them like so. And that's the whole reason I showed you all this. You get your power setup going. Now, these do require a good bit of power, so since you need the bees to make your power, you're going to have an external form of power beyond this boiler initially to do this. Again, unless you just spend forever and breed up tons of bees, which you could do. I mean, it would just take forever, but you could do it. So, yeah. Cool story, bro. At the end of the day, you want this, not this. Good. Bad. Terrible. Over here's terrible. I was spitting out words faster than I was thinking about them. Fantastic times. Bad times. Happy about life. Sour about life. Don't be a don't be. Do be a do be. Be happy. Don't be sour. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Now you guys get to watch my camera move a little bit because I hid my button bar. Because I'm a super pro like that. Fantastic times. Everything's good. Just wanted to show you guys what it would take. Nice little video add-on. I swear to God, I am going to do the frame quarry next time. So yeah, keep watching. Keep hitting that fight. Keep hitting those like and follow and subscribe buttons. Because, I know you love to hear the sound of my horrible voice, right? Awesome. This has been the friggin' Iron Man signing off. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.